Now, I don't know about you, but I've always liked wall hacks in games, I've always liked it when you can see things through a wall. It'd be so cool to actually like add, something like this where, we can see objects through. That would be awesome. I would love to learn how to do that. Look at this guy. I can move him around. Obviously, as you can see, this is a rig, and then this is just a wall that I've built. If I close the rig right, so I'll just delete this rig and I'll delete the part. What I'm using here is called a highlight instance. So you know what? Actually, I'll just add the part back in. I'll just scale it like this, and I'll make it anchored so it doesn't fall. Anchored like so, and then I'll just go to avatar, rig builder, block avatar. I'll select and I'll just move him somewhere here. And then this is where the magic happens. Inside the rig or inside the part, right? So you can place this inside a model or a part. You put in a highlight like this, right? And it looks kind of weird right now because we have the rig selected, but if you just, press on highlight, you see it as it normally looks. And there's a bunch of attachments here which, don't worry about them. Like you're not going to see them in the game. They just show up in the studio. So some of the properties of a highlight is, let's see, depth mode. So is it always on top, which is how we get like this like wall hack effect, or is it occluded? So occluded kind of removes this wall hack, and let me show you what I mean, right? If I were to take this part, right, and I were to just scale it to be like pretty small, right, and I click on the rig. Oh, okay, I click on the rig and then I click occluded. What changes now is that now we cannot see it through, but like besides the attachments, of course, I don't know why they keep showing up, but right, but like we cannot see the highlight when it's actually like behind something. So all it's doing is that like this like white border is just going like alongside the part, right? And as you can see, it's doing the same with attachments. So like any attachments that are in front of it seem to be like surrounded by this outline. But if I do always on top, then it's always going to be on top. So it's always going to be the same border, even if it's behind like a part, and we can actually like see when it's behind the part, as opposed to when it's not. The next one is enabled, so I'll make this always on top because that's kind of the point I think of a highlight. Then we have enabled, pretty self-explanatory. Fill color is also pretty self-explanatory. Just what color do you want it to be kind of like. So we have this, we have just completely black. We have yellow, we have blue, we got green. I like purple. I don't know. I'll leave it at this purplish color. Then we have fill transparency. So just like the transparency of this color, right? So when it's at 0, then we get this fully like full color highlight. When it's at 1, the highlight is just completely gone, right? So this kind of determines like how transparent is the fill color, right? Which by default it is at 1.5. I mean 0.5, but then I don't know. I like this better. There's just kind of, oh, what is going on? Okay. To any viewers with epilepsy, I am so sorry. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you're all still alive, still doing well. Okay. Yeah, name, pretty obvious. Outline color, again, this white outline, and we can just give it whatever color we want. So let's say if you have like an enemy, right? You could give it a red outline. And again, highlight can also be used to just make outlines. So you can make the fill transparency to nothing so that you just have this like outline, which actually does look quite nice. But of course, we want. I know I keep playing around with the colors, but like this is pretty cool, right? Just I don't know. Let's just make it red. Give it a nice like red outline. And again, there's also the outline transparency, so you can have an outline or you can not have an outline, right? So how transparent is this outline? Like this. And it's also worth noting that the outline stays the same size. So like if I move really close to it, it's the same size line, right? If I move really far, it's still the same size, right? So it looks like it's like getting thicker and thicker as I move away, and then as I'm getting closer and closer, it's like thinner and thinner. But the outline will always be one size, right? So like no matter how far away like the object is, you can always like see the outline well, right? So this is useful if you have like a specific like some hidden object that like you want the player to find, which I guess that makes it not hidden at that point. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the highlight. Again, depth mode always on top means you can always, see the highlighted part. And then occluded means that like it's just highlighted. So occluded just basically makes the highlight a visual effect, but like when it's behind walls, then you still can't see it. Enabled, again, this is whether it's enabled or not. Fill color is the color that like the part has. Transparency is the transparency of the fill color. Outline is the color of the outline, and then the transparency or the outline transparency is the transparency of the outline. Pretty simple. And again, like I'll just remove this rig. You can use this for inside parts, right? So you can do um, highlight. What I forgot its name for a second. That okay. Yes, we have a highlight, right? So if I let's say hide this thing behind like a base like a I don't know. Yeah, so we can still see it even through the spawn location. So that's pretty cool. You can put this inside the spawn location as well, right? So you can do highlight. I'll just copy this. Yeah, so you could put it inside the highlight. You could put it inside honestly like the base plate as well, right? Like this. Oh wait, inside the base plate. Weirdly enough, I've noticed that if you put the highlight inside the workspace and not the base plate, it still applies on the base plate. So if I put it inside the workspace, it's still on the base plate. So that is a bit weird, right? Um, and another thing is that if you're looking fully onto a part that's highlighted, its outline will actually like be on your screen borders, right? And we know that this is the outline because if I change the color, then the color of this changes as well, right? So it seems like when the outline, like when the outline goes like away from like your camera, it just stays glued to like the edges of your camera, which is a bit weird, right? I mean, it is pretty cool to how like when you're looking inside a part, there's this like outline. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to like feel about this, but again, it just proves my point that the outline is always visible, right? You can put this on mesh parts as well. So if you have like I know it's just like a part right now, but if you had like a mesh part that was like an egg or something, then you could also give it a highlight, right? So highlights, they work for basically any single part or a model containing parts, right? So again, hopefully you've learned something from this. Your challenge is going to be to make it so that every single player who joins the game gets a highlight inside of their head. I think that'd be quite funny. Um, and then you could like share your progress on the challenge in like the Discord server, guys. Link below, haha, comment section. Get it? I'm advertising my Discord, so then you can go and like leave 2 messages and then just leave and never chat again, because that always happens. I don't know why. Well, all right. I mean, I've basically deleted everything, and we're back to basics. Thank you for watching.